They told you to be light, to smile when it hurts, to forgive when you're still bleeding, to stay positive when everything inside you is breaking. They said the light would save you, but no one ever told you the truth. That it is in the darkness, in the broken, abandoned, misunderstood places within you where you become whole. You've been chasing light your whole life, trying to outrun your sadness, trying to filter your pain, trying to bury your anger and silence your grief, as if those parts of you didn't matter, as if they didn't belong. But you cannot heal what you refuse to look at. You cannot become whole by denying half of your soul. You've learned how to be bright, but have you learned how to be real? Because the light you're chasing is an illusion. If it's built on suppression, a house of mirrors, pretty on the outside, hollow within. Carl Jung said, one does not become enlightened by imagining figures of light, but by making the darkness conscious. Because in the depths of that darkness is a voice, your voice, the one you silenced to be accepted, the one you hid to feel safe, the one that holds your true name, the one you forgot. Stop running. Stop pretending. Stop hoping the light alone will save you. Because light without shadow is blinding. It burns with delusion, but light with shadow, that's where truth lives. That's where power is forged. So I'm not here to tell you to be positive. I'm here to ask you, what part of you have you been hiding? What anger are you afraid to admit? What sadness have you numbed with performance? What dream did you bury because they told you it was too much? What truth did you edit because the room didn't feel safe? That's the part that holds your power. That's the part you must reclaim. The world says, don't be angry. But maybe your anger isn't poison. Maybe it's a compass. Maybe it's pointing to where you were never protected. Maybe it's revealing what boundaries you never knew how to set. The world says, don't be sad. But maybe your sadness isn't weakness. Maybe it's sacred. Maybe it's the grief of who you used to be and the life you never got to live. You see, there is no transformation without confrontation. You must walk through your own fire, and that fire doesn't come from light. It comes from the shadow. That's where your healing begins. Not in pretending to be okay, but in finally saying, I'm not. Not in trying to fix everything right away, but in sitting with what is broken and listening to what it has to teach you. This is not the path of perfection. This is the path of integration, because you are not just your accomplishments. You are not just your strength or your good days or your filtered moments. You are your rage, your sadness, your confusion, your longing. You are the nights you thought would never end and the mornings you survived anyway. And until you look at those parts of yourself without judgment, you will always feel like something's missing, because it is. You, not the version of you that performs or pleases or adapts, but the version you buried so you could belong. Now it's time to bring them home. Now it's time to stop chasing light and start embracing the dark. Because that's where your roots are, and a tree cannot grow toward the sky if it's ashamed of the soil it came from. You want freedom. It won't come from affirmation. It will come from confrontation. You want to feel alive. Then stop trying to be perfect and start being honest, because nothing is more powerful than a human being who has made peace with their pain, not numbed it, not fixed it, faced it. Because once you face it, once you stop running it, transforms. The darkness becomes direction. The pain becomes power. The void becomes voice. And you realize you were never broken. You were just divided. You were whole all along. You just forgot where to look. The darkness you've been running from isn't there to destroy you. It's there to reveal you. The parts of yourself that you've labeled too much. The rage you pushed down. The grief you tucked behind. A smile. The voice you silenced to keep the peace. They didn't disappear. They've just been waiting. Waiting for you to stop reaching for light and start reaching for truth. because chasing the light will not save you if your shadow still holds the pen. And make no mistake, it does. Until you confront it, until you listen to it, until you understand why it formed in the first place, you will keep repeating the same cycles with new names. New job, same dissatisfaction. New partner, same emptiness. New city, same haunting voice in the back of your head whispering, "You're still not whole," because you didn't leave the problem behind. You carried it. You became it. The real work isn't in running, it's in returning. Returning to the place you lost yourself. Returning to the moment you split in two. Returning to that buried version of you and saying, "I'm sorry. I'm listening now. You're safe." That's the medicine. Not pushing through, not forcing positivity, but holding space for your own becoming. And the second you do, the second you stop pretending and start feeling, you'll notice something. The numbness begins to thaw. The ache beneath the surface begins to soften, and a voice, fragile but undeniable, rises from within. "I never needed you to be perfect. I just needed you to come home." That's what the shadow wants. Not to control you, not to ruin you, but to reconnect you to truth, to instinct, to power, to peace. And peace doesn't come from absence of pain. It comes from acceptance of all you are, because until you accept the fire, you can never wield it. Until you accept the chaos, you can never calm it. Until you accept your own voice, you will always echo someone else's. And the world does not need more echoes. It needs you. Your voice, full deep, unfiltered, your presence grounded whole and unafraid, your story raw, honest and real, not the highlight reel, not the curated version, the whole story, because when you start telling it, when you speak from integration instead of shame, you give others permission to do the same. That's how healing spreads, not in silence but in shared truth. So speak. Speak about the days you hated yourself. Speak about the things you thought you'd never heal from. Speak about the fear, the anger, the guilt, the longing. Speak about the darkness and how you learned to dance with it. Because dancing with it means you're no longer at war with yourself. It means you're not afraid to cry in public, not afraid to say, "I don't know," not afraid to start over. You are not trying to prove your worth. You're living it, and that makes you magnetic, that makes you trustworthy, that makes you free. Because freedom isn't a moment, it's a practice. A daily choosing of truth over performance. A daily choosing of presence over perfection. A daily choosing of feeling over faking. And that choice, that's how you reclaim your life.